Welcome to today's video. In today's video, I'm going to show you a quick and easy upcycle. I'm going to show you how I transformed this jewelry box from this a little outdated look into a more modern yet retro look. I don't know if that makes sense. You be the judge. Alright, let's start by showing you the before. As you can see, there is no real damage to this piece. There's of course some wear and tear, some scuff marks, but overall it's in really good shape, so I thought it was definitely worth saving. The first thing I did was to remove the hinges because I didn't want to paint those this time. I couldn't remove the handles because they were covered by the velour on the inside of the drawers, but whatever I could remove, I did remove. I feel like it would give me a more polished look that way. Once I had removed all the screws from the door, I removed that plastic, it's actually plastic, not glass, from the door so I could paint the doors freely on the inside and out. So this time around, I decided to tape all of the edges of my drawers. Sometimes I will paint the sides, but I feel like it was unnecessary, especially because the paint can tend to drag as the drawers slide in and out. So I taped them to make cleanup easier, and then I went to town with my paint and my brush. So the paint color, I mixed up a couple colors from Dixie Belle. Y'all know I use that a lot. In this case, I used pink champagne and I added a little bit of yellow to give it that retro soft pink that I was looking for, and I used about 2 to 3 coats. Let's take the tape off. So you'll notice that I leave some tape on the inside of the jewelry box, and that is because I intend to either wax or seal this, and so I don't want to get any of that onto the velour that is on the inside, and so I left that tape on until I am completely done with this thing. My inspiration for this jewelry box was actually these little figures I found on the internet and the show Mrs. America, like the intro for it. Also, that's a really good show. Y'all should definitely check it out if you haven't. But so I got started. I picked my color palette and I started with a little pencil brush to try and draw the lines. I thought I was gonna draw them real thin, but then I changed my mind later on. Painting a couple of the lines, I realized that the brush I had chosen wasn't the best one because I originally intended to do the lines a little bit skinnier, I guess, and so that wasn't working. So I switched to a flat brush that was a little bit wider, and so it was a lot easier to kind of just paint the lines with that. And you know, you'll figure that out as you work with your project. Once I finished all my lines and did whatever touch-ups I needed, like on that yellow portion, you can see it's a little thin, I came back and touched up everywhere I needed to touch up, and then I let it dry and moved on to sealing this piece. To seal it, I'm going to use Sweet Pickins beeswax, just because I have this wax. Any wax will do, any sealer will do. I'm just going to apply it and let it sit for about 15 to 20 minutes and then wipe it off and do multiple coats. I think I'm going to do 2 to 3 coats for this one, and that should be plenty. Next, I'm going to use nail polish remover to get rid of the designs on these doors. As pretty as they are, they just don't match my design anymore, and I don't want it to clash. But before we get into that, let me stop you right there. Stop everything you're doing. It is very important that you use non-acetone nail polish remover, okay? I made that mistake because I watched a video or something and it said to use nail polish remover, but nobody mentioned that it shouldn't have acetone. If you use the one with acetone, what's gonna happen is that it will react with the plastic, so it will leave a cloudy mess. You don't want that. So use non-acetone remover. What? Did that makes sense. Known acetone remover, and you'll be just fine. So let's get to that. So this jar has had a bit of a nasty stain, and I cleaned it with like carpet cleaner, and I wiped it and I sprayed it with alcohol to kind of remove any mold if there was any, or to kill it. But the stain, it was a stain, it wasn't going anywhere. So what I did is that I got some pretty paper from the craft store, cut it to size, and sprayed adhesive onto it and glued them at the bottom for the ones that needed it, and that made a huge difference. The last thing is to reattach everything, and let me show you guys the finished product. Super easy. I hope that I inspire you to create something similar, and if I did inspire you, please tag me on social media, Instagram, Facebook, leave a comment, whatever, and I hope you guys love it as much as I do. Bye.
Was that you living in someone else's dreams?